Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube if you haven't seen yet, but do subscribe if you're on YouTube because I am doing more regular videos. So today, adrenal fatigue, I am at the point where I feel like it needs to be spread even further about what is actually going on, because there are so many women that have a level of adrenal fatigue, and it's not just de-stress or start getting more rest or sleep, because a lot of people are trying to do that and it's really not going far. And so I want to talk about what's going on underneath this so that we can understand what we really need to do to really change it, because it's really possible for us, and that's where we want to be if we actually admit it to ourselves. We don't want to be in adrenal fatigue any further. So the main part is to start to think about, what does stress mean? Stress is typically us doing too much as women. And what does that mean? Am I stepping in too much? Am I trying to be martyr? That's a whole thing in itself. But just the busyness and the stress and taking on other people's stress is an interesting thing in itself, because I see it as an ultimate monkey mind act. As far as then, if I'm so busy plugging my life with so many things that I tell myself I need to do this and I've got to do that and I can't give that away and I can't do this, then all of a sudden we don't have any time or space to really sit with what's going on inside us, within us, the emotional stuff that's churning away that we do know is there, stress that we've taken on like our whole life. And the surface stuff that we're probably quite aware of, our traumas, our past hurts, all of that stuff, but the day-to-day emotions that we also don't express, even now, so right now as well. So we're dealing with the past stuff, and then every day we're swallowing down more and more stuff, especially because we have been programmed to do not let it out, do not cry, do not be weak. Do not do that, because you're going to open this floodgate and you will not hold it together as a mum, because you won't have the ability to manage life as it is. It's already hard enough. And so we toughen up even further. We harden up as women. We go the opposite way with where we should be going as a wild, raw, vulnerable person, especially as a woman, is to be expressing ourselves. Like energy, it's flowing and not holding it in. Like snot, I always say, we don't hold in our poos, we let it go. So the same thing with our emotions. So our monkey mind's job is to keep a lid on our emotions. So if we have lots of emotions, we won't let go of them, now monkey mind's going to keep that lid on there. So we don't feel safe. Ultimately, we don't feel it in our body so much. But then the monkey mind, to make sure that we don't go there and we don't have the time, it likes to keep us busy. So it gives us lots of things. It'll tell us we need to do X, Y, and Z. And right when we're ready to sit down and rest, nope, I can think of something else better to do, and it gets us back up again. And so it keeps us going. And then to the point where there's a lot of women who can't sleep, where they feel like, well, it's my adrenal fatigue. But what I see is when we go to sleep, we actually can't relax, because that's when we're actually feeling just slightly, probably the top of it, the stress, the underlying emotional charge that's running within us. And sometimes it's quite big, at a full moon or something, you can feel it coming up, and it's really hard to relax and feel peaceful in our body. And that's the main aim, for us to feel that way so we can drop off to sleep, which then when we can have a really good peaceful sleep, then our adrenals can start to charge and get going again. And so it is that cycle that a lot of people think, oh, I just need to rest. But are you? And why not? Oh yeah, okay, there's that emotional stuff that's below, that's sitting there ready to go. And so that's what I'm putting forth to a lot of mums, just to start to see that and to really tune in and to start to go, right, I can do so much stuff on the external by taking supplements and really, trying to rest and putting it out on others. I need to rest, so you need to do this, or I need to take it easy, so you need to do this. But actually, that's us still playing a bit of victim mode, as there's something's wrong with me, so you need to step up. And that's not actually empowering ourselves to go, there is an answer right here for me to truly break free from it and not put the band-aids on. And that is to truly feel our emotions, which is underlying stress, and to let that go. And when we let it go, then, like after you've had a good cry, you come back to that peaceful feeling, and your adrenals say, thank you, I'm not holding on to so much that I'm ready to burst. And it's exciting, because then you start to see how life changes when you can see more clearly to go, oh, I don't need to put my effort into that. I'm actually going to say no to that person. I'm actually going to feel good about sitting down and resting. And I can actually hear my monkey mind saying, how about you get up? This is really important now. There's the washing. And I'm going to actually ignore it. And so it just is becoming more empowered to see what's going on, but also to know that, yes, it's some inner work. And yes, it's not always fun to go there. But once we start letting it go, you actually have the energy and you get better so that you can do it on the go, so that then it just becomes a part of your life. So much so that it is your life to be flowing this emotion and this energy rather than to be holding on to it in what we think is a very noble way, but actually it's really hardening us, and it's really all fear-based stuff that we're doing by not expressing our emotions. So I hope that makes sense. That's just a little rundown on typically for the inner work process that I put forth in all my course material and for my mentorships is around the 4 bodies: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical bodies. We need to honor all 4 plus more bodies, but that's the start to really start to go through our stuff and flow through it out the other side to become empowered. And it's like it's done, then we've mastered that thing that's come for us to look at, rather than going around the soup of all the stress and the emotions, and then it's just one emotional brain fog that we can't see past and we don't know what to do. So I hope to see you again, and let me know if this was useful for you. If you have any other questions in the comments and or any other topics, I would love to know. Bye.